Well, folks, we're 2 weeks away from opening day. As we get closer, there's still questions that remain. We're going to talk about FOrrest Whitley, a Christian Walker update, Jose Altuve, and what Joe Espada says. We'll actually hear some sound from him from the locker room on this edition of Locked on Astros.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked on Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked on Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Heisman and Brett Htown Wheelhouse Chansey.
Hey everybody, welcome into this edition of Locked on Astros. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You know where to find me at Htown Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Stros411 on X and on Facebook, and at Back to the Bullpen on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on iHeartRadio, where I'm always positive, always Stros. Eric is not in tonight. I am in solo to wrap up the week. We are 2 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen, and there are some exciting things going on in the Astros world and some not so exciting things. But before we get started, let me tell you about FanDuel, our title sponsor today. FanDuel brings you amazing action, and right now new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Go to FanDuel.com today. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for making us your first listen. Thank you for making Locked on MLB your second listen every single day. And look, our friend Joe shows up. It's baseball season when Rangers fans come over and hang out with us. Welcome, Joe. Sanjay, Linda, Rio, Supreme Panda, Tej, Mr. Rashad, MLB Edits. We've got not everybody in the house. Mama Wheelhouse, this might be a little bit too late for her, so I don't know if she'll be here. Alec, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today, Joe Espada had some interesting quotes about Jose Altuve today. He did say that Jose Altuve has done enough for me to feel good about playing left field. I was like, okay, I guess, I don't really, has he done enough? I don't know. I don't know, man. Like today's game, if you watched it, Jose Altuve jumped when I don't think he needed to jump, and he misplayed a ball. Someone on here mentioned, well, he did miss a routine fly ball. I don't know if it was routine as much as just lack of experience. This is what Altuve said. He said, I feel like every ball I get is going to be a new thing, something I'm going to learn, and I'll make the adjustments for the future. Another thing that Joe Espada said was that he said Jose Altuve, actually every inning he comes in goes straight to Dave Clark and says, how did I do? What I need to do differently? So he's getting a lot of help while he's out there on the field. And today he chose to play 9 innings. He wanted to stay out there for all 9 innings. So Joe Espada let him do that. The Astros had 2 games today. One, they won 10-5. Ronald Blanco got a win today. Game 1, it was tied 1-1. And so you had several Astros in action. The one that Blanco won, the Astros put up 8 runs in the first inning. Now, what's interesting is Blanco got the win, but he gave up 5 runs on 7 hits with 4 strikeouts. He hasn't had the best spring, and you really hope that Blanco starts really figuring things out, because he is part of your 5-man rotation. And until someone like McCullers or AJ Blueball gets called up, he's one of your 5. AJ Blueball got sent to minor league camp. So did Blake Wyman, who I thought maybe had a little bit of an outside chance to make the team, but obviously he was not ready. And we've got one other player, and I'll go back and check names. But in the game where the Astros won 10-5, Cesar Salazar hit another home run. Hit his second home run in as many days. He's looking good at the plate, 2 for 4, really making it hard for the Astros to not consider him at some point. Rogers was 2 for 4 today. He's hitting 304 with an 811 OPS. If he can hit 304 with an 811 OPS, put him at second base, put Altuve in right field, in left field, and we will deal with it. The other game today, 1-1 versus St. Louis. And Joe Espada will talk about this game a little bit in the soundbite that I have. He'll talk about Arrighetti. He's going to talk a little bit about Montero. But you do have some movement going on with guys going down to the minors. You've got Altuve. Obviously, they're riding this horse. They are going into this head first with Altuve in the outfield. Excuse me, a rare yawn on air. I do apologize. We are nearing our spring break, and I'm trying to ease into spring break with the students, and it's just been a long week. But we want to talk about Christian Walker and what is going on with him, because he was shut down. He wasn't swinging the bat now. He was hitting in the cages today. The first time he swung a bat since his oblique issue. Yanner Diaz was out sick today, but they're not worried about him. He's just out with a regular illness. But Christian Walker is fielding ground balls, and he did run. And let me give you all these different updates right here. And this is from Brian McTaggart. I think this is worth sharing. We got some injury updates. And we got Smith. So here we go. Christian Walker hitting the cage, fielded ground balls and ran. Sean Dubin, shoulder, is playing catch. Luis Garcia will throw a bullpen on Saturday. Cam Smith will play right field and third base in the breakout game. He played right field today. So it looks like, they're full pedal to the metal with Cam Smith. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. But Christian Walker is feeling good, and we're hoping to have you guys a healthy Christian Walker on opening day. That would be great. Lucy has made it in. And so look at this. Tej and Panda are going back and forth. Panda says, I think Altuve should go back to second base. Well, look, I too saw the quote. Actually, I saw the highlight of him jumping for the ball and misplaying it. Right after that is when I heard or saw the quote from Joe Espada, what I shared on the template. And here I feel like when he says he's done enough for me to feel good about playing left field. Maybe what they're counting on is there's not going to be a lot of balls hit to left field. But then again, the ball that Altuve misplayed ended up being a triple. You just wonder how things are going to play out. And look, I do kind of agree with y'all that he should stay at second base. But apparently, him being a second base is a big problem. And flexibility is nice. So there is all kinds of thought processes going into this. And remember, we're not the ones that get paid the big bucks. But you know what? The guy who does get paid the big bucks is Joe Espada. And Joe Espada talked to the media today. Let's see what the skipper had to say about Jose Altuve and just the different pitchers today.
Man, that McKenzie score is pretty good. He's, obviously he had stuff was really good. Winning swing bats well. But we did some good stuff on the mound. Montero, 2 punchies, a split finger, something that he's been working with, effective. Brian King, walked 2, but he was able to get out of that. So we did some good things on the mound. I think Walter threw the ball really well. That if he would have checked the runner on that double steal, probably would have gone out of it just with giving up 1 run.
What have you thought of Montero's spring overall?
It's had a good spring. I think he just needs to continue to have confidence on that split finger. I think he's creating enough swing and miss that I think can be it will play for him. That's what we're really trying to get him to do that. Same thing with Castro. We're trying to give him use his off-speed weapons to create some swing and miss. But right now, they're just putting a ton of balls in play.
How much does that 8th inning just sort of drive you nuts with that?
Yeah, it's spring training. That stuff doesn't drive me nuts. It's It's part of spring training. I've been doing this for a long time, and stuff like that happens. It's fine.
I'm not asking about the at-bats today specifically, but what have you thought of just Cam Smith's just swing decisions and, maybe some of even the takes he's having, not even maybe some of the swings he's getting?
Yeah, the takes are early. So when you get a hitter who gives up on pitches that early, that sees that he's seeing them really early out of the hand. Also, he recognizes his strength, what he's really looking for. So those are signs of what good hitters do. And then once he swings the bat, he's able to find barrel. So that's qualities that we look for in young hitters.
A little bit of a production faux pas here. Here we go. Let's remove him from the screen. There you go. Sorry, Joe. We had to knock you out of the screen there. Thank y'all for listening. That was something a little bit easier to navigate this had we had two people on the box, but that's okay. But Joe Espada is telling you what he thinks. I know Spencer Arrighetti pitched today. Spencer Arrighetti, he said he feels looked as good as he's looked all spring. Of course, Spencer Arrighetti had a different take. Spencer felt like he could not get as many breaking pitches in like he would have liked to because they had so many left-handed hitters in there. So he only got to throw 3 of his new pitch, what he has in his arsenal. And so those are things that, he's working on day in and day out. This is spring training. Okay. Jose Altuve, they're going to work him to the very end of spring training. Jose Altuve, they're going to work him to the very end so that they know exactly what it is they have in him. And before we move any further, I want to talk to y'all. I want to tell you about our friends at FanDuel. When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started. There's no better place to get in the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game. So even if you miss the opening tip-off or you want to be in a fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in the action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can combine your live bets into a same-game parlay. I love using FanDuel's betting feature because it keeps every moment of the game exciting, whether I'm backing my team for a late rally comeback or picking a player to hit a clutch 3. I never feel like I've missed my chance. Plus, the app is easy to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets with your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for making us your first listen. Make sure you make Locked On MLB your second listen every single day. Let me get back to Spencer Arrighetti and kind of tie this up because I feel like I kind of just word saladed. I made a word salad out of Spencer Arrighetti. Well, that's 2 references in one. Spaghetti salad makes me hungry. Anyways, Spencer Arrighetti is working on a new 2-seam fastball. And the reason why he's doing that is his 4-seam fastball got hit really hard last year. It was his 3rd worst pitch, his 4-seam was. And they had a .302 batting average. The 3rd worst slugging percentage allowed was .516. The pitch had a -8 run value, which is his worst of any pitch that he threw. And this is what Spencer Arrighetti told Brian McTaggart. I want to throw something hard that doesn't get barreled, simply put. I love Spencer Arrighetti's mindset, and I really think he's going to shine this year. He said, I'm doing what I want to do with the fastball. He said, I felt like the tempo was way better today. That's the one thing I'm most proud of. So he's going with this new 2-seam fastball, but he wasn't able to use it because of the amount of lefties in the lineup. So that really limited his use of that pitch. Joe Espada, as you heard in the quote, loves the movement on his pitches and so on and so forth. That's right. Hey, man, got the shirt and the hat combo right here. Here come the outfielders. Go to my social media pages. You'll see where to find that. This is a Santigoat hat right here. Check out the, hold on. Oh, how do I do it? I got the World Series patch 2017, Cry Dodgers. And yes, we definitely got that. Joe, the resident Rangers fan, says, isn't Dubon a better outfielder than Altuve? Well, we're not going to split hairs here, but yes, of course he is. But Jose Altuve is the guy that's going to get regular reps and at-bats in the lineup over Dubon. So he's not getting started over Dubon. The reason why they're doing this, I think, I think the thinking originally was to keep Bregman here. That didn't work. I think they thought they might get Paul Goldschmidt, and if they did, they would move Paredes to second. They would move Goldschmidt to, I keep saying Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado. I don't know why I get those two mixed up. Nolan Arenado, he would come in and play third. They would move Paredes to second, and then they would move Altuve to left field. But moving Altuve to left field also gives Cam Smith options because he's a third baseman. And if he comes up and is the starting right fielder, he can also play third base. If they want to get Chaz in the lineup, they move him to third. They move Paredes to second. Maybe Brendan Rodgers gets a breather. Altuve is in left field or whatever. You've got versatility on this team, and that cannot be bad. So with 2 weeks left, what are we looking for? Like what is it that we want to see out of the players? What is it that we want to see from, I don't know, from the new guys, from the young guys? Are there any bubble guys left? Because today you did have, again, AJ Blueball. You had, you also had, oh my gosh, I just drew a blank. Blake Wyman, both got reassigned there in the minor leagues, as where Jesus Bastidas got reassigned to minor league camp. So blue ball will come up probably sometime this season if he's needed. Oh, and then we need to get to our friend FOrrest Whitley. Look, FOrrest Whitley, I'm a big fan of his. And we'll talk about him in a second. But the next 2 weeks, what we are going to be looking for is continued honing in the position at left field for Jose Altuve. What does Cam Smith do to finish out the spring? Does he do enough to garner a spot on this roster and make the opening day roster? We also are looking at these last few bullpen spots. Now, we have some injury issues, so that may shore up who's going to make it. Brian King is probably going to make it. You have Taylor Scott. You've got several guys that are going to be in there. Yeah, you're right. Whitley can't catch a break. A bone bruise. We'll talk about it here in a second. But I think over the next 2 weeks, you're also Brendan Rodgers or Luis Guillermo. Guillorme. Man, I am, boys and girls, fatigue is real, man. Like I am. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. But Guillorme and Rodgers are making a case, both of them, for the starting second baseman, because Altuve is going to be in left field, or the platoon second baseman, as you call it. And so it looks like, Chris Moreno says he's Team Rodgers. I can't disagree. I can't disagree. The guy's hitting over 300. I know it's spring training, but it's not Coors Field. So you can't do that, right? And so at the end of the day, those are what you're looking for. You're also, what is Chaz and Jake doing? Is Chaz legitimizing his spot on this roster? Because he has made no noise this spring. Have y'all noticed that? Chaz McCormick has made no noise. What about Logan Van Wy? Logan Van Wy could make the opening day roster. It might be opened up. If FOrrest Whitley has to go on the IL, I think it opens up a for sure spot for Logan Van Wy. I don't see how you keep this kid off the roster. Now, if everybody's healthy, there's a possibility he gets assigned to AAA and comes up shortly after that. Remember that we're going to have spots that are there for the guys that are going to be IL'd, going to be on this 60-day IL. or whatever. Like, they're going to be shuffling the deck here and there. Van Wy has an opportunity, but I think that it may be more dependent on if people are injured, because there might be a little bit of a logjam in the bullpen. What are the chances Okurt makes the team? Sanjay, I think Okurt's got a shot. He is not, I mean, he has been good. He has been good this spring training. If I go in and look at the latest, pitching stats for the Houston Astros and what each of these guys have done, you really can't argue with his body of work. A lot of our pitchers have actually done really well, and I'm just pulled them up now. These stats are here, are available all the way up to 311, and we're at 313. So Okurt has pitched 6 innings. He has 7 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and no runs. I think Okurt makes the bullpen. I mean, how do you argue with that? Again, 6 innings pitched, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Very, very tough to, and then you got Van Wy. Van Wy, 1.2 innings, 2 innings, 1 inning, 1/3 of an inning, then 3 1-inning outings in a row. He's given up 1 run. He's given up like 6 or 7 hits. He's walked 4 batters, but he has struck out 8 batters. I mean, Van Wy is making a case. Miguel Castro is making a case. Only 3 earned runs in 6 innings pitched. And he does only have 1 K, and they want to see more movement. Luis Contreras has made a name for himself. So there is a battle for the bullpen. So over the next 2 weeks, that battle is going to shore up. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about one of our wonderful sponsors, Monarch Money, on next. And after that, we'll talk about Whitley and other news. Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Locked on Astros. This is Htown Wheelhouse from monarchmoney.com. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB for 50% off your first year. Ever check your bank account and wonder where all the money has gone between dining out, online shopping, entertainment? It's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building that wealth. All in one convenience instead of juggling multiple apps. Easy collaboration. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, stay on the same page without the stress. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Check them out today. Wow, we are flying fast and furious tonight. Like I said, I tell you all this every time, and I probably need to quit repeating myself, but it just seems like it goes by so much faster when I'm doing this on my own. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Kyle Stokes, for tuning in. Brett, love the show. What do you think of Pena so far this spring? Well, the kid's killing it at the plate, okay? What do you think of his numbers will look like at the end of the year? Man, that dude, number one, he's got to stay healthy. Number two, he's got to stay out of his own head and stay focused. If he can keep from going through any long slumps. Now, we know every player is going to slump at some point in the season. You're never always rising unless you're Luis Ariz, no pun intended. But most guys are going to fluctuate during the season. Jeremy Pena is hot in the spring. I hope that carries over. It would be great to see him contribute in the first opening series against the New York Mets and Juan Soto and all the hype there at Dyken Park. It would be great to see that. I think Jeremy Pena is going to have a good year. I think he's going to hit between 18 and 22 home runs this year. He's getting lift. Remember last year he was ground ball after ground ball after ground ball, just grounding out. He's found a way to get lift. It looks like he's kind of fixed that swing a little bit. I think he's going to do a fine job. Y'all definitely make sure that y'all ask me some questions before we wrap things up. At the end of the show. But FOrrest Whitley, again, was shut down. It's unfortunate. And look, I know there are people out there that want to dunk on guys like FOrrest Whitley that are oft injured. But let me tell you, as someone who has spoken with him, has spoken with, I even had the honor of meeting his wife last year, meeting his father as well. And no one is more frustrated than FOrrest Whitley is on this planet about what continues to seem to happen. I know someone in here use the term snake bit, and I don't want to necessarily put that on him, but it says right here that he suffered a bone bruise in his left knee pitching Saturday against the Yankees. So the last time he was pitching against the Yankees, he said he felt something in his knee while he was pitching. He went ahead and finished the inning, but later underwent an MRI, which showed the bruise. They have not expounded on where the bone bruise came from, if it was an activity, if it was a PFP, he was grounding a ball and he fell and hit his knee. There's no indication of what happened or how that happened. But at the end of the day, I really hope that FOrrest Whitley, look, he's on the 40-man roster. He's going to pitch innings this year in an Astros uniform. I just hated to see that. Like, I saw it and I thought I was imagining it at first. No, see, Doug, that's the thing. I'm not even going to honor that comment with throwing it up there. Oh, look, he's asking Panda. Panda, what do you think about the City Connects? Now, what do y'all think about this? I don't know that I guess we know that they've been leaked because of what we see with the jerseys and stuff, but they keep throwing out different clues, making you wonder, like, is there going to be a lot of orange in the orange, like this shirt that you can get on my Sticker Mule shop? Just go check out my social media and you can find the link. No, but seriously, there's a new ad that shows one of the players' eye, and in the reflection or in his retina, you can see Mars. And it's like, ready for launch or ready to go or something. And I'm like, come on, man. What is going on here? Brett, when do you think Garcia will return for the rotation? Because we will need him back. I miss his formal pitching. Oh, you mean the way he pitches? Well, he's not going to have that funky windup like he did before the pitch clock. It's not going to be the same. But Luis Garcia should be back pretty soon. Brett, do you stop traffic with that shirt? No, but I know where you can get one. Check me out on social media today. But seriously, Panda, I think Luis Garcia, he actually has gone out there, and like I shared the update from Brian McTaggart, that he is throwing a bullpen Saturday. I think Luis Garcia and Lance McCullers Jr., I think Garcia seems to be a little bit behind Lance. Lance, it seems like, will be throwing in a Grapefruit League game soon. Then you're going to see Lance make 2 or 3 starts in Sugarland, and then I think they bring him up. Look, and this is a good thing for either Garcia or McCullers to get up there. Why? Because I believe, shouldn't say I believe. Because what I'm seeing out of Ronald Blanco is unsettling to me. I don't know how Ronald Blanco is going to perform. Now, he may wow us all, and I love Ronald. Good guy, hard worker, love his story. But it's not about his story. It's not about being a good guy. It's about, can you perform? And if he is not able to perform, does that mean that Luis Garcia and or Lance McCullers Jr. are given an opportunity to step in for him? Brett, are you going to get the new NSF, not safe for work Astros hat? Oh, no, I'm not buying any of those. I didn't get them when they were up. They actually took down the Astros hat. They took down the Rangers hat. They took down the Angels hat. So, no, I am not going to be buying any of those hats. I would much rather buy a hat that I can wear. Now, if I would have known the Rangers hats were going to go for $1,000 a piece, I would have bought like 3 of those bad boys and sold them for like $500 a piece. I mean, good Lord, it's insane what is going on. So let's wrap everything up here, ladies and gentlemen. There are a lot of things that are going to happen this year in 2025. I think we are going to have one of the more news-driven, update-driven, breakout-driven years that you've seen. From Cam Smith, when will he debut, to Jose Altuve, I can't believe he's in left field, to, oh my gosh, Brendan Rodgers hitting 280 at Dyken Park. Like, what is going to happen? Is Jordan Alvarez going to surpass 40 bombs? Is Yainer Diaz going to hit 30-plus bombs? What about Walker? Will he stay healthy? Paredes, what about him? Do the Astros not make a deal for Arenado now, but midway through the season, grab Arenado and put him at third base and move Paredes to second? I mean, what is going to happen this year? Doug Fresh says, Rookie of the Year for Cam. Book it. Hey, I'm all about that Cam life. I'm all about that Cam Smith life. The definite most like sought after guy right now in Houston. Everybody wants to see Cam Smith. Yes, and right here, Mr. Rashad just go for the gullet. Beat LA. Every time you get a chance, beat LA. See, Sanjay loves it. He said Nolan trade would be crazy at the deadline. I'm telling you, why not? Don't get him now. No one else is going after him. If it's a soft market right now for Arenado, forget it. Leave it alone. Let him get off to a hot start this year and then go grab him at the trade deadline and then let him help you go to the World Series. You get Arenado in here and he's hot, that, folks, solidifies your lineup. On top of that, you've got pitchers coming up. I'm got past my 32-minute deadline. Oh, well. You've got rookie pitchers. You've got other prospects that can be coming up. So we will have to wait and see. I'll answer one more question. Why would we give up more prospects for Arenado? We wouldn't have to give up a ton of prospects. I mean, we would be, because he's dead weight to the Cardinals because of the money. We would take on his money. We wouldn't have to give up much, to be honest with you. The cost would be minimal. So I'm not concerned about that. MLB Edit says, could we sell Chaz? What would we do if he does not perform? I mean, DFA, I don't mean to be that negative about it, but I don't know. What do you do with Chaz if he's not performing? That's a question that I'm going to leave to guys like Dana Brown to answer. So anyways, how would you know Chaz won't be a star? Just like, okay, Panda, Chaz McCormick is not Kyle Tucker or George Springer. There's not a single person in the baseball world that thinks that. He's just not. Chaz is not. He's just not that guy. Look at his swing. He's too inconsistent. No, it just some things just are. That like the phrase I hate the most, it is what it is, right? But anyways, Chaz is a great guy. Chaz fights like hell on the field. Chaz gives it his all. He's got the amazing catch in the 5th inning of the World Series. So he's contributed to this club. But if you're going forward and you're trying to create a team for the future to continue to be competitive in the playoffs, I don't see him or Jake Myers as a part of a winning formula, if I'm being perfectly honest. So y'all have a good one. Thank y'all for tuning in. This has been a great show. Y'all are just the best. I've got an idea next week. We're going to be having you guys send in your hot takes for the 2025 year. That take. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Locked On Astros. I'm your guy, Htown Wheelhouse. Eric the Man Heisman is not here, but he'll be here next week. And make sure that you check out our channel. If it's your first time, thank you. Subscribe to our channel. Like it. Share it. Let the world know that Locked On Astros is your team every single day. Y'all have a good one. As always, go Stros.